Hi guys, and welcome back to Geeks Speak. Today we are going to be doing a little thing for you to get to know us. It is 30 questions that we are going to be doing rapid fire. It's actually based off of a blog 30-day challenge that I stole from my friend Alyssa. I will link her blog down in the description below, where she takes these and actually does them as blog prompts. But today we're going to be doing them rapid fire questions. No thinking, no nothing. I've seen them before, so I have had time to think. But he hasn't.
I've seen some.
Well, we're gonna see what happens. So here's 30 questions on how to get to know us, nerd style. Number 1. What was your first fandom?
Jurassic Park.
I almost said Doctor Who. That's not true. It was Harry Potter. Unless you want to say Disney. But Harry Potter. What's your most recent fandom?
Anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's your most recent. Wow. Most recent? It depends on how far into the fandom we're going. Maybe Riverdale, I'm guessing. That's the most recent thing I've become obsessed with. What was your favorite convention experience?
Meeting Jeff Goldblum. That was a fun experience.
Yes. I don't know if you want to explain that at all.
Well, me and Taylor it was Boston Comic Con. We were cosplaying Jurassic Park characters. I was Dr. Alan Grant. She was Dr. Ellie Sattler. So we're waiting in line just to see the Q&A with Jeff Goldblum, and then an employee comes up to us and says, "Hey, would you two like to go on stage and meet Jeff Goldblum?"
In a costume contest. But everyone got the same amount of points, so no one really won.
We got 10 out of 10 Goldblums. That is an accomplishment.
But in that process, we met Jeff Goldblum. Me? That's a really hard one. I've been to a lot of conventions. But probably meeting Matt Smith. It was probably meeting Matt Smith because I got to dress as River Song, which was at that point my go-to cosplay. Alright. What was your worst convention experience? If you don't have one, try and come up with something.
My worst convention experience was when you got mad at me for yawning at the Matt Smith and Karen Gillan Q&A. It was my first ever convention. I was tired, and you just got mad at me for that.
Well, you shouldn't be yawning at Matt Smith.
What? It was a long day. It's not my fault. It was my first convention.
Alright, my worst convention experience is also one of my best experiences. It's hard to explain. It was my first Boston Comic Con, and I met John Barrowman that day, so it was really good. And I also met one of my best friends, but the reason I met her was because I got ditched by my old best friend for a guy. She was really into this guy dressed like Matt Smith, and they dated for a little bit, but she ditched me. Very sad. But because of that, I met one of my best friends and John Barrowman. So, 50-50.
As a Cyberman would say, you got an upgrade.
Alright. What is the geekiest thing you've ever done? How the hell do you answer that?
Well, besides just existing, and I'll tell you my research in a sec, the most geekiest thing I've ever done was go into an astronomy class dressed up as a Jedi just to prank a teacher in college. Well, after I graduated college. In which case it was a fun experience.
The geekiest thing I've ever done that does not involve a convention, that involves being a geek when you are in an environment where you really shouldn't be, is my senior year of high school. It was Space Day. So I went to school in my sister's TARDIS cosplay, which was like a makeshift version of the TARDIS dress they now sell at Hot Topic, because we designed it before it existed. Alright. What real life geek inspires you?
Real life geek. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say Mark Hamill.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, the guy loves what he does. He loves the fans. He's really you can't go wrong with Mark Hamill. I mean, especially when he does his Luke Skywalker or Joker voice.
Mine is either, I guess, because I used to be an actor in school, Matt Smith or David Tennant, because of the variety of characters they've played over time. and how they're able to pull off these different things from comedy to historical to serious to villain in Harry Potter.
Ah, yes.
Okay, what fandom do you love that you didn't think you would love?
I'm gonna say the crime dramas. Like, I'm not into like Law and Order or anything like that, but I'm a huge fan of Lucifer, and well, thanks to her, Riverdale.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Riverdale.
I do not know.
Me, I'm not quite sure. It has to be an anime, most likely, because I never think that I'm gonna be into an anime until I watch it.
And yet you
So, probably, I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's probably some sort of anime. Alright. What geeky hobby do you have? I think I know the answer.
I do lightsaber combat every Thursday night at MIT.
I used to, but I don't anymore, so I don't know. I guess my hobby is either cosplay, which I don't really do anymore, or video editing these things, if you consider that geeky.
Yes, I mean, it's a geek channel.
Okay. Favorite anime? Or anime series?
Dragon Ball Z. I've been watching that since I was a kid, and I always love it when they scream to become a Super Saiyan.
Mine is Avatar or Legend of Korra. Some people consider them one thing. Some people consider them separate things. I couldn't tell you which one is better than the other. Maybe we can talk about that at some point.
That's gonna be a heated debate, I think.
Favorite manga or comic book series?
In terms of the... well, my favorite manga series, well, the only mangas I've actually bought is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And there's a lot of other mangas out there, but I don't have...
Oh, well, that's probably your favorite.
Yeah, I don't have much.
Me, I'm hard to say. I have a ton of comic books, but I've never read them in, like, actual order.
That's true.
Like, I just read, like, one off here. I have a lot of Spider-Man, if that says anything. And I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright. What is your favorite video game or video game series?
My favorite video game series, I have multiple, but I think my favorite is gonna have to be the Star Wars Battlefront series. It's always fun to play as a regular soldier, but then be able to transform as a iconic hero and just kill multiple soldiers with no one to stop you.
I am the biggest immature nerd, so my favorite stuff growing up was always Nintendo, meaning anything Mario. Mario Party, Super Mario Brothers, Mario Sunshine,
That's
Mario Kart. Alright, what's your favorite book series?
Interesting.
Harry Potter! I'm not even gonna let you finish. Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter.
The only book series I've read half of is the Jurassic Park book series, and that's only 2 books. I'm not that much of a reader. I'm trying to become... Oh my gosh.
Right. What superpower would you like to have?
Flight. I would just enjoy flying from one end of the world to another. That means no airfares.
Yeah, no, teleportation is always something I say, but one thing I've always wanted is kind of actually sad and creepy. Because I'm such a control freak, is the power to control people. Just be like, you're gonna do that now, or go do that, and they just automatically do it. But because that's so messed up, I'd say teleportation. Alright, what Hogwarts house are you in? Hufflepuff, forever. Hufflepuff for life.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
What crossover would you like to see?
Does this have to be an actual crossover?
It doesn't have to actually have. It's like, what do you want if you could have any crossover?
I would definitely want to see somehow Star Wars crossover with the MCU, because me and Brent and our friends had a whole discussion about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I definitely want to see that.
I want the day that Super Wholock exists, which, if you don't know, is Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock. The world needs that. That's an old concept that many fangirls don't talk about anymore, but Super Wholock. Or Star Wars and Doctor Who together. Okay, favorite video game soundtrack?
Kingdom Hearts soundtrack. I just love that whole soundtrack.
Once again, I'm pretty sure, I don't really know many soundtracks, but it'd have to be Mario. because for some reason I was actually singing the Mario soundtrack yesterday.
Well, it's iconic.
Right. What character would you like to meet in real life?
I definitely want to meet. It's torn between Obi-Wan Kenobi and a little bit of Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I definitely want Obi-Wan because I can build a lightsaber with him. But with Joseph, we can go do a whole lot of pranking.
If I could meet a whole family, I'd want to meet the Weasleys, but that's not what it said. So, probably River Song from Doctor Who. 'Cause I've just been obsessed with her. Alright, what's your favorite fandom quote?
And you can do that one first. I gotta think.
You gotta think?
Yeah.
I don't remember how it goes, but it's that Harry Potter one about how, like, it's easy to stand up to your enemies, but it's even harder to stand up to your friends.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, Dumbledore said that. I don't remember how it goes. But that was my high school
It
quote.
takes a great deal of courage to stand up to your enemies, but it takes a greater more to stand up to your friends.
Yeah, something like that.
And that is why I reward Neville Longbottom with 10 points. And that's how Gryffindor wins the House Cup.
Yes, Dumbledore is... I don't know.
He's a favoritist.
Yes, okay.
My favorite quote would probably be from the 10th Doctor, where he tells Professor Lazarus that he's seen more people live life within 20 years rather than ones in 80s. It's not about time, it's about the person.
Something you love about the geek community.
I love how we're open to different ideas and different, like we're so cool, we're so laid back with trying new things, in a way, at least with fandoms.
That's pretty much what I was gonna say. I love how we're all open and allowed to be ourselves and all into this stuff. It's an easy place to make friends. You can go to a convention and come out with 5 new friends that you may never talk to again until you go to another convention, but you're just very into being yourself and meeting people similar to you. Right, something you want to improve about the geek community. Never actually thought about that.
I would like for more geeks to be less isolated when it comes to trying new things that's outside of the geekdoms, which is actually one of the videos I want to make, like isolation in fandoms, which is like how isolated societies like Wakanda or the Northern Water Tribe, how they break out of that isolationist habits.
I do agree with that. Without saying that exact thing, being a little different, I just think I love how people are open. But at the same time, I want people to be open in their fandoms. Like, ooh, you may have this theory, or you may like this thing about it. Oh no, someone has a different opinion. But you can still be friends with them. And just because this person thinks Harry and Hermione should be together, and this person thinks Harry and Ron should be together, even though they should, you can still be friends. So I need to follow this as well. Alright. Favorite geeky YouTuber?
I have a lot, but I think my favorite in terms of Star Wars is Star Wars Minute, and in which case it's done by a guy named Alex who goes over the facts and figures and everything, and on Saturdays he has a Q&A with his wife Molly, and they're nice people.
I've always loved the Super Carlson brothers. Like, if we're going strictly nerdy information. I also like a lot of other people that do impressions and stuff. I'm very into impressionists. Okay. Favorite Disney movie?
You can do that first.
It's either Mulan, princess-wise. I've never really been into princesses, and if you even consider her a princess, which she only is because they broke the rules. But if we're not going there, my favorite movie's always been Lilo and Stitch.
Okay, in terms of me, I'm a fan of Tron, like both the 1982...
That is Disney, right?
Yeah, Tron is Disney.
That.
1982 and Tron Legacy. In terms of hand-drawn, it's Peter Pan. And in terms of Pixar, I think I might have to go with The Incredibles.
If we're going categories, then Lilo and Stitch is my favorite, like, hand-drawn animated. Pixar, it's always been Toy Story 2. Not even 1, which surprises a lot of people. And live action has to be probably the second Pirates of the Caribbean. What series is underrated?
I'm gonna say Legend of Korra because a lot of people always shoot it down and just always say The Last Airbender is better. They don't really give much of an in-depth look at it, so that's my perspective.
Torchwood. A lot of people don't like Torchwood because they're the last season. The world.
Oh, Miracle Day?
Yeah, Miracle Day. Everyone says that's crap. So they forget about the rest of it. And I feel like they could have made that so much longer than they actually did.
That's what happens when you move it to HBO.
Exactly. Okay. What's next? What series would you recommend to anyone?
You can do that one first. I gotta think.
I'm not actually sure. I usually always recommend Doctor Who if you haven't seen it. But everyone's seen that nowadays.
For people who are into Star Wars, I would suggest seeing like the cartoons, like the Clone Wars, Rebels, and Resistance. Like, yes, the cartoons, but some of them, most of those things are not geared towards children at all. Like, there's some they touch on heavy stuff such as slavery, religion. And politics. They go into details, and trust me, if you see these shows, you get caught up on a lot of stuff. Like Alyssa once asked me after she saw Solo, how is Darth Maul still alive?
True. I don't know. Lately, I've been suggesting Legend of Korra to people and saying that it's actually worth watching. And I've always been suggesting Riverdale to people. Like, a lot of people think it's not going to be as good as it is when they actually watch it. They think it's a teen drama and not like something you could consider a nerd fandom.
I did.
Alright. How did fandoms influence you in your life?
Fandoms at least inspire me to see a whole different way of experiencing life or seeing life in different angles. Like, for instance, one thing I always get from Doctor Who is the whole sense that maybe humanity is meant to survive beyond current times, like go on beyond the future, like to the year 100 trillion at the end of the universe, you still find human beings. So it makes me feel
You're being
hopeful.
very analytical.
It makes me feel hopeful.
They've influenced me in the concept that they've made me who I am today. I work in video production. I love TV, movies, all that sources of stuff. I've met all my friends through them. I don't know anything analytical like that, but they've just somehow created the person you are seeing in front of you, taken her creativity and given it an outlook. Cosplay and video production and watching things and all that jazz.
And it has done a good job.
Favorite superhero?
Superman.
I'm gonna have to split it in half. DC and Marvel. It's DC, I always say Batman, but I did say superhero. I always like the villains more for some reason.
They are interesting.
But DC is definitely Batman. It gets a little bit more complicated when we get into Marvel because I like everyone. But if I don't have to pick a huge group, I'm a Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Full on, full out. I always thought I was a Bucky Barnes person, but that's just because my best friend is Bucky Barnes for life.
Yep.
But I think it has to be Guardians of the Galaxy. And if you want me to be correct and answer the question down to the dot, I guess Groot is a superhero. So, Groot. Okay, favorite movie soundtrack. Now, are we going to do this movie soundtrack wise? Not musicals. I'm a theater nerd, so I'm not counting that. But where it's background music, kind of like Harry Potter, or movies that have songs in them, kind of like Cars has Route 66 in it.
Yeah.
Which version are we doing here? Or are they all the same thing?
I say we can do like both.
Okay.
I mean, 'tis America.
Go for it.
In terms of actual music, I'm gonna say all the songs in Back to the Future. All of the
I was gonna say that.
but not all the songs in Back to the Future, but in terms of like melodies, it's torn between Star Wars and Jurassic Park.
Right? So I don't copy him. Melody-wise, I've always liked Harry Potter, but I'm into everything. Like, I listen to movie melodies when I study for school years ago. Well, not years ago, but... But, not background music, like, actual band music-wise, you're gonna laugh at me. My favorite soundtrack, because I grew up with it, is Shrek. We've got All-Star and Holding Out for Hero, and I don't remember the names of the rest of them, but I'll say the first Shrek, but it's every Shrek movie has a really good album.
Yes, yes.
I don't know what it is about Shrek. Alright, you're an anime/cartoon character now. What outfit are you wearing?
I'm going with the Saiyan armor from Dragon Ball Z, because it's just so cool. I was gonna go, it's either that or maybe Dio's outfit from Phantom Blood, where he dresses like a big purple emperor.
I've never actually thought about this. Oh my goodness. Anime character. Yeah, no, I need to get more into anime, but I don't think... It said cartoon character, so it could be anything I design.
Yeah.
So, if I want to be really cool, like my favorite anime is Avatar, but all that stuff is just normal and boring. I guess it'd be a Kyoshi Warrior if I was in there, but if I want to be cool, it'd probably be some sort of cartoon Star Wars, kind of like Captain Phasma costume.
So, like
but
she is a cartoon character now.
Yeah. It wouldn't be hers exactly, but it'd be somewhere.
So Stormtrooper armor, or would you want to do like
a Darth Vader thing, but not Darth Vader, like silver and metallic-y and shiny and awesome and have a bunch of powers.
Well, the armor doesn't get... That's it. You want to be... You know what you would need? Mandalorian armor. Because at least with that, you can actually grapple things with like a light whip. Oh god, I'm giving her too much power.
Alright. Last and final question. Most obsessed over fandom.
Well, I'm planning on writing a dissertation about Star Wars, so that's my answer.
Star Wars, hands down. Me? I guess I'm gonna have to say Harry Potter because I grew up with it. But if I didn't grow up with it, I don't think that'd be the answer. My life would probably be completely different, but that was just what I started with. If you consider Disney overall a fandom, then it'd probably be Disney. If I didn't grow up with Harry Potter, probably be Doctor Who, but it doesn't look like it in my life because it's on so infrequently that I come in and out of it. But Harry Potter doesn't really exist anymore, so I don't know where you go with it. But hands down, if you look at me from afar, it's Harry Potter. And with that, we hope to see you
in the future!